Yes, I got it in my calendar.
Our members would please find their seats. Our guests find a seat in the gallery. Good morning, everyone, to this, welcome to this recess meeting in the Will County Board for Thursday, July 21st. We'll call this board meeting to order. If everyone would please stand and remain standing. County Board Member Reagan Freitag will lead us in the Pledge to the Allegiance of flag and then introduce our clergy for this morning.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'd like to introduce our very own leader and Reverend Herbert Brooks, Jr. of St. John Missionary Baptist Church of Joliet. Pastor Brooks has been a pastor of the St. John's Church since May of 1990. Herb and his wife, Gwen, have been married since November 1st, 1974. He and Gwen are the parents of 5 children and 9 grandchildren. Pastor Brooks is a graduate of LaSalle University of Chicago with a bachelor's degree in business and John Marshall Law School with a certificate of completion in social law, Chicago. I introduce our friend, our colleague, Herb Brooks.
Thank you. My wife. Thank you, Reagan. As many of you all know, our leadership here at Will County Board will be leaving right after this meeting, going to our NACO conference in LA, California. And if you'll notice, I might be here in Joliet physically, but my mind is already in California. So that's why I'm dressed that way. So shall we pray? Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for another opportunity to come before this Will County legislative and executive branch of government. And we ask your blessings upon them on today. We ask your blessing upon Will County, state of Illinois, and all around this country at a time when we're calling for peace all around this country. As your word said in John 16:33, my peace I leave with you. Not as the world give, but my peace I give to you. And that is what we're asking for on today. Now, Lord, bless our agenda. Bless everyone here today. In our Lord's name we do pray. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, and our office building. Yeah, it's back now.
Harris? No, I don't see Harris. I don't see him.
Ready, Nance?
Oh, I'm not seeing
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Sure. Mayor, Brooks,
Here.
Howard,
Here.
Ogala, Singer, Moran, Rice, Harris, Trainier, Benefield, Fritz, Freitag, Gould, Balich, Frizzalone, Winfrey, Parker, Staley Ferry, Babbage, Wilhelmy, Hart, Tumanello, Weigel, Collins, Ferry, and Eustis. Thank you.
19 present, 7 absent.
19 present, we do have a quorum. Motion to place on the file certificate of publication. Moved by Ms. Trenier, second by Ms. Parker. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Sure. Brooks,
Yes.
Howard, Ogala, Moran, okay, Rice, Trainier, Benefield,
Yes.
Fritz, Freitag, Gould, Balich, Frizzalone, Winfrey, Parker, Staley Ferry, Weigel, Collins, Ferry, and Eustis. Thank you.
18 affirmative.
18 affirmative, motion has carried. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the Will County Board regular meeting of June 16, 2016. Moved by Mr. Ferry, second by Ms. Lawrence Staley Ferry.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah. Any discussion, any questions? Previous roll call by Ms. Winfrey, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried. Motion to approve the minutes of the County Board Executive Session minutes from June 16, 2016. Moved by Ms. Winfrey, second by Ms. Ogala. Any discussion? Previous roll by Ms. Parker, second by Ms. Collins. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried. Madam Clerk, would you please acknowledge our elected officials and the media that is present this morning?
Sure. Auditor Duffy Blackburn, County Clerk Nancy Schultz-Foots, County Executive Larry Walsh, Recorder of Deeds Karen Stukel, and our Sheriff Mike Kelly. Media, we have Farmers Weekly Review Nick Grier, Southtown Susan Lafferty, and with the Herald News Mike Mallory. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Chief Judge Shane said, informed me
Oh.
that he would, he's not here.
Okay. I thought I missed him. I didn't want to miss the Chief Judge.
But they had some troubles this morning downtown Joliet, transformer, ComEd's problem, nothing not county problem, but that they didn't have electricity at the annex and the courthouse, but it has come on just about 20 after 9. So, but he said he was needed there, and so he would have been here. This morning we have no proclamations or honorary resolutions. With that, all resolutions approved. Resolutions approved at the June 16th County Board meeting have been signed by the County Executive. Moving on to new business, Land Use and Development Committee, Mr. Weigel, Chairman. Got it, Tom? Is it on? No?
There you go. Okay, here we go. First item is the public hearing for land use cases. I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Frizzalone. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Sure. Brooks? Yes. Howard? Yes. Ogala? Yes. Moran? Yes. Rice? Yes. Trainier? Yes. Benefield? Yes. Fritz? Yes. Freitag? Yes. Gould? Yes. Balich? Yes. Frizzalone? Yes. Winfrey? Yes. Parker? Yes. Staley Ferry? Yes. Weigel?
Yes.
Collins? Yes. Ferry? Yes. And Mustis? Yes. Thank you.
19 affirmative.
19 affirmative. We are in the public hearing. Please be advised that absolutely no new evidence or information will be allowed once this land use public hearing is closed. Today we have 5 cases. Case 6304-M, case 6306-M2, 6312-SV, 6314-SV2, and case 6304-M. We have nobody that signed up on the list. Is there anyone in the general public that wishes to speak on any of these cases? Anyone from the general public? Anyone from the general public that wishes to speak on any of these cases? Mr. Weigel.
You mentioned five cases. There's actually 4 cases. I think 6304, you said that twice, maybe, the first and the last?
Oh, you're right.
Okay. Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Balich. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Sure. Brooks? Yes. Howard? Yes. Ogala? Yes. Moran? Yes. Rice? Yes. Trainier? Yes. Benefield? Yes. Fritz? Yes. Freitag? Yes. Gould? Yes. Balich? Yes. Frizzalone? Yes. Winfrey? Yes. Parker? Yes. Staley Ferry? Yes. Weigel?
Yes.
Collins? Yes. Ferry. And Mustis. Thank you.
19 affirmative.
19 affirmative. Public hearing has been closed. Continue, Mr. Weigel.
Our first case, 6304-M, is a map amendment from R3 to A1. This is in Manhattan, Illinois. This is to combine the R3 parcel with the larger A1 parcel, which is non-conforming. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Gould. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Parker, second by Ms. Trainier. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next case, 6306-M2 is a map amendment from R1 to E2. This is for parcel 035. This is in Crete to allow for construction of a horse arena. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Howard. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Ogala, second by Mr. Benefield. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
For this same case, there's a map amendment from A1 to E2 for parcel ending in 034 in Crete. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Ms. Ogala. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Moran, second by Mr. Ferry. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Next case, 6312-SV, is a special use permit for the animal care and boarding. This is in Florence Township with 5 conditions. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Gould. Any questions? Question, Mr. Howard?
Yes, we actually received all the details on this during the committee meeting, and there was a few residents that spoke out with their concerns on this, and we believe they were all addressed. And why I would like to mention this, though, is these individuals that provide these rescues for these dogs, I think they should be commended. Many times these dogs have been in abused homes, or they've been abused in one way or another. A lot of them have disabilities such as blindness or hip dysplasia or something like that that makes them less desirable for a otherwise home. So again, I'd just like to say that I'd like to commend these individuals. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Any other questions? Seeing none. Previous roll by Mr. Moran, second by Mr. Ferry. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next case, 6314-SV2, special use permit for conversion of a non-conforming towing business to allow for expansion. This is in Green Garden Township, and this is with 12 conditions. They want to add a storage building. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Howard. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Ogala, second by Ms. Collins. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next are the resolutions. 16-191 is a special use permit extension for case 6210-S for Lynn Rickard. This is in Plainfield Township, 6-month extension. The committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, seconded by Mr. Ferry. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Rice, second by Ms. Parker. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next resolution, 16-192, authorizing the county executive to enter into Illinois Historic Preservation Agency fiscal year 2016 certified local government grant program to continue Will County rural historical surveys in Crete and Will Township. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Ms. Fritz. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Ogala, second by Mr. Balich. All in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next resolution, 16-193, designating the the Moni Creamery as a historic landmark. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Ms. Ogala. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Howard, second by, Ms. Ogala, you got a question?
Oh, I don't have a question, I really just have a comment. I just wanted everyone to know that for many years now, the residents in Moni have been doing fundraisers so that they could do improvements to help restore the creamery. And so that for those residents in the village of Moni, I'm sure that they feel very honored that the Moni Creamery was chosen to be a historic landmark, and I just want to thank everyone who worked towards that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments? Previous roll by Ms. Winfrey, second by Mr. Brooks. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
That concludes my item of business. Our next meeting of the committee will be August 9th. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Next up, Finance Committee, Mr. Frizzalone, Chairman.
Good morning, Will County.
Good morning, Michael.
We have some reports to put on file. We have a lot of reports to put on file. First report is from the Illinois Department of Revenue showing the sales tax remitted to Will County for the month of April to be $1,581,675.44. And RTA tax received is $1,922,513.95 for a total of $3,504,489.39. We also have the Will County Monthly Treasurer Report for May from our County Treasurer. We have the Quarterly Report from March through May. We also have the Semi-Annual Report from 12/1/15 through 5/31/16 from our County Treasurer. We have the Quarterly Financial Report for 3 months ending May 31st from our County Auditor. We have the County Circuit Clerk's Annual Financial Report for fiscal year ending November 30th from our Will County Circuit Clerk. We have the Annual Financial Report from the State of Illinois for fiscal year 2015 from our Comptroller. And we have the Will County Comprehensive Annual Report, Financial Report as of and for fiscal year ended November 30th, 2015. I would like to put all 8 of those reports on file, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Frizzalone, second by Mr. Brooks. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
We have one resolution, that's 16-194, authorizing the county executive to execute necessary documents for delinquent tax program, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Frizzalone, second by Ms. Collins. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Price, second by Ms. Staley Ferry. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
And our next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for August 2nd at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Next up, Public Works and Transportation Committee, Mr. Gould, Chairman.
Morning, Mr. Executive,
Good morning, Don.
fellow board members. We have Resolution 16-195. This is a structure replacement on Laraway Road, award of contract to deconstruction over West Fork East Branch of Hickory Creek, County Board District 2. Move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Parker. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Howard, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
We have Resolution 16-196 for improvement by the county under the Illinois Highway Code for Laraway Road over West Fork East Branch, Hickory Creek, County Board District 2, using MFT funds. Move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Frizzalone. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Parker, second by Ms. Collins. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 16-197, confirming an award of contract to Homer Tree Service led on June 15th, 2016, countywide tree removal, all county board districts. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Ogala. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Trenier, second by Ms. Winfrey. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion carried.
Resolution 16198, a resolution for improvement by the county under the Illinois Highway Code for countywide tree removal, all county board districts using MFT funds. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Fritz. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Ferry, second by Ms. Trenier. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion carried.
Resolution 16199, confirming an award of contract to Marking Specialist Corporation, led on June 15th, 2016, for countywide reflector replacement, all county board districts. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Balich. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Rice, second by Mr. Brooks. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 16200, confirming an award of contract to H&H Electric, led on June 15th, 2016, for countywide signal maintenance, all county board districts. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Benefield. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Parker, second by Mr. Howard. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 16201, confirming an award of contract to Midwest Fence Corporation, led on June 15th, 2016, for countywide guardrail maintenance, all county board districts. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Freitag. Any questions? Question, Mr. Brooks.
Mr. Gould, I don't know if you can answer this or not, but all county guardrails repair, does that include ones in the township that many of them in my township have been damaged for several years? And it seems like when we do this work, the ones that's within the townships, I live in unincorporated Joliet, are not repaired. Does that include?
I'll let Bruce answer that, but there's township roads and there's county roads within your township.
Correct.
So generally speaking, you have a road commissioner for 23 townships in Will County have a road commissioner. Only one township
Right.
doesn't. But I'll let Bruce answer the rest of it.
You don't fix mine, Bruce? I damaged them, so I'm going
Bruce, come on
to
down.
come on down, Bruce.
Can I go to the podium?
Yeah. Thank you.
Morning, everyone.
Guardrails.
Morning, Bruce.
This is everything that's in front of you. If it isn't road district work, it's county highways. This guardrail replacement contract is for the county highway system only. If a road district highway commissioner wants to do a contract similar to this under motor fuel tax, he can, we would set up the contract and bid it out, and it would be awarded by this body. But this is county highways only.
So this fund, well, let me second follow-up question. Not only county, many of our county roads run across state highways as well as villages, et cetera. And there are rails that are damaged and have been damaged for a lot of years in my district. So what you're telling me that this does not include those unless those township, highway departments, et cetera, wants to repair them themselves. Is that what you're telling me?
If it's not on our county highway system, we don't have the maintenance responsibility.
Not all. All right, have a great summer. Thank you. You answered my question.
Any other questions for Bruce Gould? Thanks you, Bruce.
I think Herb will be going to a township meeting. Resolution 16202, resolution for.
Wait, we didn't get a motion.
Oh, I'm
a
sorry.
motion on-
Move to approve.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second, who said, Mr. Benefield. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Moran, second by Mr. Howard. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, the motion is carried.
Okay, resolution 16202 for improvement by the county under the Illinois Highway Code for countywide guardrail maintenance, all county board districts using MFT funds, and I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Frizzalone. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Collins, second by Ms. Ogala. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 16203, confirming an award of contract to Austin Tyler Construction, led on June 15th, 2016, Jackson Road District Overlay, County Board District 6, and I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Freitag. Any questions? Any questions? Motion, previous roll call by Staley Ferry, and second by Ms. Rice. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried. Mr. Wilhelmy, would you be on record as yes? Thank you. Got that. Thank you, Steve. Okay, Don.
Resolution 16204, confirming an award of contract to P.T. Farrow Construction, led on June 15th, 2016, Joliet Road District Overlay, County Board District 8. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Brooks, second by Mr. Wilhelmy. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 16205, confirming an award of contract to Grasso Construction, led on June 15th, 2016, Wilmington Road District Seal Code, County Board District 6. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Freitag. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Fritz, second by Ms. Ogala. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 16206, authorizing approval of an IDOT County joint agreement for improvements on Weber Road, 135th Street to Normantown Road, County Board Districts 3 and 13. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Ferry. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Parker, second by Mr. Balich. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 16207, authorizing approval of a professional services agreement for engineering services with Michael Baker International on Weber Road, Tiger Grant application, County Board Districts 3, 4, and 13. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Trainier. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Rice, second by Mr. Wilhelmy. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Our next meeting is August 2nd at 9 o'clock. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Don. Next up, Judicial Committee, Mr. Benefield, Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Executive.
Good morning, Darren.
We have one resolution before us this morning for the Judicial Committee. That's Resolution 16-208. It's the renewal contract for food service at River Valley Juvenile Center with Aramark Correctional Services, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Benefield, second by Ms. Fritz. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. You got a question, Denise? Oh, I thought it's on. Moved by Ms. Winfrey, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. Executive. Our next Judicial Committee meeting is scheduled for August 2nd, 2016 at 9 a.m.
Thank you very much, Darren. Next up is our Public Health and Safety Committee, Ms. Ogala, Chairperson.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Judy.
Today I have several public health and safety reports to be placed on file. My first report is the 2015 annual report from the Will County Health Department and Community Health Center. I would like to just read the mission statement from this report for everyone. The mission of the Will County Health Department is to prevent disease and promote a healthier environment for all. To that end, agency professionals assure the maintenance of flexible program initiatives and develop sound public health policies based on a thorough assessment of community needs. So you'll find a very comprehensive report here that's been put together by our health department. And the other report that I have is our Will County Coroner report. It's our 2015 annual report that's been put by our coroner, Patrick O'Neill. So this is a statistical report of all the deaths investigated in Will County. It is a compiling of various aspects such as toxicology reports, autopsy reports, medical records, police reports, medical history, and family and primary physician information. It is summarized to give you an overview of 5 years so comparisons can be made. So if anyone would like to look at either of these reports, they'll find a lot of information from both those different agencies in the county. I'd like to place these reports on file.
No, Ms. O'Gala moves to place these on file, second by Mr. Gould. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary motion is carried.
I have resolution 16, it's an ordinance 16-209. It's amendment to the Will County Chapter 53 Water Well Permit and Water Supply Ordinance. What we've done is we've made some updates to a few words here to match the state requirements, as the state made changes, and we've changed some of our fee structures so that they are more, in line with what the cost to the county is. So I would like to move to make these amendments.
Moved by Ms. O'Gala, second by Ms. Fritz. You have a question, Ms. Fritz? No. Second. Any question? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Rice, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
And before I conclude, I just wanted to say every month we get a staff connection report, little newsletter from Sunny Hill Nursing Home. Annette Parker, who sits on the committee with me, we were talking about things that we read in it, and so I've asked Annette to read something that I thought was a really special little note in this newspaper.
Ms. Parker?
Thank you. To CNAs everywhere, this letter was written by Marion Smith, a resident in Michigan Nursing Care Facility, and has been featured in the June 2016 issue of our Staff Connections. In recognition of National Nursing Assistance Week, it is again being reprinted. Hi, it's just me. I'm a resident in need of your help. I could be on any hall, in any room, in any bed. I need you. I need your smile when I am sad, your strength to hold me up, your understanding when I make a mess, and your courage to clean me up. Your ability to do all things I once did, to help me when I cry, to understand when I get angry, and laugh with me when I have a good day. I need you to wash my face and body and hold my hand. I need to know that you are there for me when I am worried or afraid, when I am angry or impatient. When we do something funny, we laugh, and when I am tired, you let me sleep, and walk away when I need to be quiet. And so from any resident, on any hall, in any room, in any bed, God bless you always, even when I keep ringing my buzzer. Thank you.
Thank you, Annette.
Thank you, Annette. I think that it's really important to celebrate National Nursing Assistant Week, because if you've ever been to a nursing home or a hospital and you see the work that the CNAs do, they are really the backbone of that. They're there to provide so much for each resident every day, or a patient in a hospital. And I thought it was just fitting that we read that today, because they do such a great job, and I just wanted to celebrate that. So thank you again. The next Public Health and Safety Committee meeting is scheduled for August 4th at 9 a.m. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Next up is our Legislative and Policy Committee. Pardon me? Oh, yep, okay. Mr. Howard, this morning, carry this committee, Vice Chairman. Mr. Howard.
Good morning, Mr. Executive and County Board. Suzanne actually asked me to mention an item that was recently noted in the media, and that's the Hobo Bridge project. That's a project that's based about $150 to $170 million that connects the intermodal in Joliet to 80 at the Hobolt interchange. The state actually provided $21 million for the initial design. Basically, that's going to cover the design portion on the Route 80 interchange. This is a very important project. This project actually began development years and years and years ago. Actually, Nick reminded me about going out to Washington, D.C. with Leanne Goodson at that time, and then Nick, Leanne Goodson, and myself actually sat in the Highway Administration and actually presented this project to them. And basically, there's accumulation of a lot of activity, a lot of lobbying. that was provided on this. I know the county executive's office, the county board, members of the county board have been continually contacting the state legislators and the federal legislators actually in support of this project. This project is imperative to the safety of the roads out there. Everybody knows the amount of trucks out there, the amount of truck traffic out there. There's also projected projects on widening 55 in the future that this would help alleviate that problem when that does actually happen. This will provide a pressure relief valve on that, the other projects out there. So the good news is that basically the county doesn't have to put any money in this project. Potentially, they could also receive a portion of the tolls if it's negotiated in the future and it's applicable. Actually, the county could probably receive a portion of that. So that would help with the infrastructure on the roads and the other parts of the county too. So this is a very good thing. And again, this was a lot of years coming. And this is only a small piece of the puzzle, though. There's a lot more to do. This is not going to solve all the problems in the county with transportation, but it's a beginning of it. And again, a public-private partnership actually releases the burden on the taxpayer out there. So it's a very positive project. Another thing that I want to mention is there's a heroin abuse problem that we have out there. Recently, there was legislation that's on the president's desk that looks like it'll be signed. Years ago, Will County identified this as a problem. It wasn't identified on a national level at the problem at that time, and again, through the county's executive's office, through the county board, through the law enforcement, first responders, social service, and medical fields. With everybody pulling on the rope the same way, actually this is on the radar right now. And hopefully in the future we can receive additional dollars for this that would help fund it. And everybody knows with the state of Illinois that basically we're losing services out there every day, literally, probably by the minute. What we need to do is look to the future and look to take advantage and grab anything that's out there that potentially could help us out there. And again, at the Legislative and Policy Committee, I know Suzanne, myself, and all the committee members out there are committed to that, to actually reaching out to whoever we got to for whatever problem is out there or whatever we could see in the future that would be positive legislation. So, and that concludes my report. The next meeting is scheduled for August 9th, 2016. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, one other thing too is I'm going to borrow a phrase out of Pulp Fiction with Jewel. He says, "Be like Fonzie, stay cool out there." So.
Okay.
Little delay there, but.
Moving on to the next committee, Legislative and Policy Committee, excuse me, Capital Improvements Committee, Ms. Freitag, Chairperson.
Good morning, Mr. Walsh. Good morning, County Board. I have 16-210, authorizing the county executive to execute a lease agreement with the administrative offices of the Illinois courts for office space for the Will County Arbitration Center at the Will County Court Annex, formerly known as the EMCO building. I so move.
Moved by Ms. Freitag, seconded by Mr. Gould. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Collins, second by Mr. Frizzalone. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Thank you. There's no other resolutions. Those that were not in attendance in the last capital meetings, just wanted to remind everyone to keep put the word out there continually that these projects are moving forward, that this past Monday we had our first pre-bid meeting on the sheriff's facility. It was well attended. And that the first set of bid packages are out, so get the word out there to our local labor. The next Capital Improvements Committee meeting is set for August 2nd, 2016 at 11 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Reagan. Next up, Executive Committee, Mr. Mustis, Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Executive,
Good morning,
County
Jim.
Board. First item on today is 16-211, authorizing I'm going to make a motion to remove this from the agenda. They're still working on the language. This is basically an abatement to Shanahan for public improvements, but the agreement has to be worked a little bit more. So I'm going to make a motion to remove this from the agenda.
Moved by Mr. Musto, second by Mr. Frizzalone. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next, I have 16-212, a property tax abatement for Cap Barbell, Inc., and I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Musto, second by Mr. Moran. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Wilhelmy, second by Ms. Rice. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next, we have 16-213, designating Nationwide Retirement Solutions as an additional Will County 457 plan provider, and I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Ms. Winfrey. Previous roll by Mr. Wilhelmy, second by Ms. Trenier. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next, we have Resolution 6214, designating election judges for 2016 through 2018, and I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Muster, second by Mr. Brooks. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Ogala, second by Mr. Benefield. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next, 16-215, authorizing a professional service agreement for Fairmont Stormwater Design and build consultant. I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Ms. Staley Ferry. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Parker, second by Ms. Rice. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next, Resolution 16-216, authorizing bid for sale of surplus vehicles. I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Howard. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll call by Mr. Ballage, second by Ms. Fritz. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 217, declaring sheriff seized vehicles surplus and authorizing disposal. I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Frizzalone. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Benefield, second by Ms. Ogala. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 16-218, declaring vehicles in surplus and authorizing disposal. I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Moran. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Wilhelmy, second by Mr. Ferry. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Next, we have Resolution 619, confirming execution of the RTA fiscal year 15 application, enhanced mobility for seniors and individuals with disabilities and continuation projects grant, and I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Frizzalone. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Winfrey, second by Ms. Rice. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 1620, proposing substantial amendment to the 5-year consolidation plan and resolution to adopt the fiscal year 2016 action plan for CDBG program and the home consortium for the program year beginning October 1st, 2016, and I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Parker, second by Ms. Rice. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
I said fiscal year, it's the plan year for 2016. So, next, 16221, authorizing IGA with the new Lenox Township for latex paint reuse program, and I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Weigel. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Ballage, second by Mr. Gould. All in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 16221, authorizing intergovernmental agreement with the Village of Romeoville for electronic recycling, and I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, seconded by Mr. Wilhelmie. Any questions? Questions? Previous roll by Ms. Parker, second by Ms. Trainier. All in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 16223, authorizing intergovernmental agreement with the Village of Homer Glen for a one-day hazardous waste collection event for fall 2016, and I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Balich. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Frizzalone, second by Ms. Collins. All in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
16224, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with the Village of New Lenox for a one-day household hazardous waste collection event for fall 2016, and I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Weigel. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Balich, second by Mr. Gould. All in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
16225, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with New Lenox Township for a one-day household hazardous waste collection event for fall 2016, and I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Weigel. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Collins, second by Ms. Freitag. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, aye. All motion is carried.
Okay. 16226, replacement hires for the Division of Transportation, and I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Trainier, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
That concludes the resolutions. The next Executive Committee meeting will be August 4th at 10 a.m. Next, I have the appointments by the County Executive. I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Brooks. Any questions? Previous roll call by Ms. Staley Ferry, second by Mr. Howard. All in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
That concludes my report, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Mustis. Next on the agenda, public comment. Anyone wish to make a public comment at this time to address this board? Seeing none. Next item is comments by county board members. Who wants to start off with comments? Ms. Ogala.
Thank you, Larry. I meant to mention this before during my Public Health and Safety Committee reports, but I had forgotten. So I wanted to bring it up now. I just wanted to say to the public and everyone here that we really need to think of our actions and our words and what we do, and also the dedication that our police, sheriffs, those guys that they go out and they do every day, and they put their life on the line for us to protect us. If somebody's lurking around my house, the first person I call is the Sheriff's Department. And it's really sad to see that so many people in our country just have decided that they can go out and shoot and kill and ambush our police officers. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm just hoping that, somebody will hear maybe somebody talking about it and say, you know what, you can't do that. They're there. That's the job they've chosen to protect us. They're blindly shooting at anybody, at any police officer, and taking away fathers and sons and husbands. And so I hope that we could really reflect on that, and hopefully the message gets out that we need to stop, that we are not that type of society. We need to make sure that everybody is safe, including our police officers every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Well spoken. Anyone else? Any county board members wish to speak? Okey dokey. Next up, our Republican Caucus Chair, not here. Mr. Frizzalone, are you? In the interest of time, I'll pass. Okay, all right. Democratic Caucus Chair, Mr. Brooks.
I was hoping Lana would do that for us this morning. Good morning, Mr. Walsh. Ladies and gentlemen, there's two things very quickly I want to mention. Number one, I shared with the Speaker of the Board and our County Board staff already an update on County Board member Joe Babbage from Legislative District 10. And I visited with him again at Our Lady of Angels facility, and he had just gotten out of the hospital, went back to his room. He was in a lot of pain, and his daughter Lisa was present with him. And his daughter asked if we would continue to pray for Joe and not visit Joe, because Joe loves to talk, and he wanted to talk county business. And when I was there, he wanted to talk about county business again, but his daughter insisted he get some rest. So he is recovering, and she's hoping for a speedy recovery, as all we are. But she's asked if nobody else would visit with him, but keep him in your prayers. But the second thing I want to mention, I mentioned earlier today during the prayer that many of us in this room are leaving for our NACO conference in Long Beach, California. And I just want to thank our staff, Beth and Lana, for the work they've done. On yesterday, there was some computer glitches at Southwest, but they were on top of things, and they kept it moving. I want to thank their staff and all of those that helped us on this trip again. And I'll conclude right there. Have a happy the rest of the summer that's left. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Brooks. Next up, our County Board Speaker, Mr. Mustis.
I will also make my comments very brief. And there is, my understanding, there is a need for executive session. So we will be going to executive session after my comments. I'll be making that motion. Real quickly, you know, we're in for a real heat wave. If you know some older folks that need some looking in on, please do that. You know, make sure they're okay. And for all those who have dogs and cats, you know, if you let them out in that yard, don't leave them out there too long. Make sure they have water, and make sure they have a shady place to lay down. So I'm going to make no sports references today. That concludes my report. Mr. Executive, thank you.
Let's talk about the Blackhawks.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, well, the Bears are coming up. We can talk about the Bears. I will now make a motion to go executive session for the purpose of litigation.
Mr. Muse to make a motion, second by Mr. Frizzalone. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Brooks?
Yes.
Howard? Ogalla? Moran? Rice? Trinier? Benefield?
Yes.
Fritz? Freitag? Gould? Ballich? Frizzalone? Winfrey? Parker? Staley Ferry?